All right. Welcome to the BrownCast's Ultra Oscar Recap. The Oscars were tonight. Did you miss it? I certainly didn't. But if you missed it, I'm here along with Alec to help you out and tell you all about the winners of tonight's ceremony. This was the 87th Oscars, hosted by Neil Patrick Harris, who did a fantastic job. In my own opinion, he's a song and dance man, a regular entertainer. He had a great opening song and dance number. He kind of did the Billy Crystal thing of parodying some of the other movies, by inserting himself into them. There was a couple of songs. He was pretty low key tonight, but he did a good job and definitely a step up from Ellen DeGeneres last year. So. Great job. Thank you, Neil Patrick Harris. Hopefully you can come back next year. Picking up sound mixing tonight, Whiplash comes in. Mixing a movie that's so heavily involved in music can be very difficult when you have to consider all the instruments of this band along with all the dialogue and sound effects. So kudos for Whiplash, one of my favorites for this year for taking mixing.
This year, for Best Visual Effect, we have Interstellar taking the Oscar, a wonderful movie about space travel and exploration and a visual masterpiece.
And in the sound editing, this was handedly for American Sniper. Not a huge surprise here. Things like sound editing, usually war movies are the kind of thing that pick that up. The process of creating the different sound effects for the explosions and gunfire, This didn't come as a surprise. Congratulations, American Sniper.
For Best in Makeup and Hairstyling, we have The Grand Budapest Hotel. I personally was actually surprised by this one. I thought Guardians of the Galaxy would take it, being with the whole space adventure thing. But, to my pleasant surprise, Grand Budapest won.
Now for the short category. Not because they're small and insignificant, but because these are your short films. In the live action, the movie The Phone Call snagged the Oscar, and for the animated, the Disney short film Feast, which played at the beginning of Big Hero 6, snagged the Oscar for that one.
In the documentary category, we have short and long documentary. For the full feature documentary, we have Citizen4 taking the Oscar this year. For the short documentary, we have Crisis Hotline, Veteran Press 1.
Coming in with the Foreign Language Film Award tonight, you had the critically acclaimed Polish movie, Ida.
For Best Original Score, we have The Grand Budapest Hotel, with a wonderful tune playing throughout the entire movie. It was one of my personal favorite scores in this category this year.
Supporting Actress was pretty hotly contested. This was one of the few categories where we definitely did not know who was going to walk away with the Oscar. But a lot of people, myself included, suspected Patricia Arquette for her soulful performance in Boyhood as the boy's mother.
For production design, one of the great unseen arts of cinema, we have yet again the Grand Budapest Hotel taking the Oscar, with a very eccentric and precise style that leaves a viewer wondering what else is in this world and how can I see it.
And the hotly contested battle for Best Actress was decided tonight. It was pretty much just between Julianne Moore for Still Alice and Felicity Jones for The Theory of Everything. But Julianne Moore playing a character that is slowly having the onset of Alzheimer's, they pretty much couldn't have handed that award faster.
For Best in Editing, we have Whiplash. As I've said on the podcast before, I am permanently on Team Whiplash, and I was super happy that Whiplash won in this category. Mixing music and camera has always been one of my favorite things, and though Birdman does a great job at this as well, I felt Whiplash really nails this category.
And for Best Supporting Actor, surprise, surprise, J.K. Simmons, the great J.K. Simmons, picked up the Oscar tonight for Whiplash. This one, not a surprise, it was pretty much his turn. He's been in the game for years and years and years as a great character actor. I, for one, would like to give a great congratulations to J.K. Simmons.
Finally, for me, my favorite category, Best Animated Feature, Big Hero 6, my personal favorite, took the Oscar this year. That being said, it was a close race in my opinion. All these animated features were very well done by very out there directors bringing very interesting styles. But Big Hero 6 definitely pulled out all the stops this year and made an impressive movie and deserves the Oscar.
For actor in the leading role, it was pretty much in between Eddie Redmayne and Michael Keaton for their roles in Theory of Everything and Birdman, respectively. But tonight, Eddie Redmayne pulled out for the 11th year in a row. The winner of the SAG Award also won the Oscar for Best Actor. Congratulations, Eddie Redmayne, for playing Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything.
This year, for Best in Costume Design, my personal pick, Grand Budapest Hotel, took the Oscar. A great visual style complemented by great costumes. It's an impressive display to look at, and anyone wanting to understand movie costumes should definitely look into this movie.
For Best Original Screenplay, this one was kind of up in the air, but Birdman snagged it again, adding to the overwhelming quality of this film.
For Best in Cinematography, we have Birdman taking the Oscar. A visual experience I've not seen in a very long time. Its impressive use of a kind of continuous shot system is honestly something, as a young filmmaker myself, I was floored by how amazing it looks. And anyone should check out this movie just for that alone.
And for Adapted Screenplay, once again, one that no one really knew who would walk away, but my prediction was right tonight, and The Imitation Game walked away with the award for Best Adapted Screenplay.
And in one of the biggest categories of the night, Best Director, we have Alejandro González Iñárritu winning for Birdman. Gotta say, this guy really blew everyone out of the water this year. He's one of those directors that came pretty much out of nowhere and really just threw out this amazing movie for people to see. Like we've said before, Birdman is the movie this year to see, and this guy, I can't wait for his next movie.
And for the biggest and most important category, this Best Picture was presented by Sean Penn of all people, but he's a great actor and a serious dude, probably a good choice for such a serious award. There were a lot of great films nominated this year. You had Boyhood, Birdman, Imitation Game, Budapest Hotel, Whiplash, Selma, American Sniper. I think that's all of them. But the two frontrunners were definitely Boyhood and Birdman. Birdman, turns out, was the superior film in the eyes of the Academy and this podcaster. So, not too bad of a surprise. No upsets this year, especially when it comes to Best Picture. Birdman was a very high quality film, won lots of awards in many of the other categories, and it was a little bit surprising. It seemed like Oscar voters would go for the 13-year filming schedule gimmick of Boyhood, but in the end, they opted for the movie that is about show business.
Alrighty, this has been a BrownCast Oscar recap. Final thoughts, this was a great year for movies, a great year for the Oscar. People really get out there and check out some of these winners, and even just all the nominees. We were really impressed by Selma, Theory of Everything, Birdman, Whiplash. All these great movies are out there. The Oscars is a great list of things you should be watching. But don't just take our word for it. Get on out there. This has been BrownCast Ultra. I'm Alec.
And I'm Kyle.
Thanks for watching.